Here's the 2022 profit of UBS, a large bank. It's $7 billion. I mean, how? And what do they even do? Let me give you an introduction to banking. I want to start with the most important items on the balance sheet of UBS. Just as every company, they have equity. So owners of the company who put their money into the company. And in their case, it's 60 million. And now comes their debt. And the large portion of their debt is customer deposits. So that's just you having an account at the bank and putting money into that account. And that is 525 million, the by far largest part of their financing. And then there are of course other items here which I don't want to go into. And UBS uses that money, and it uses that money mainly to give out loans. So to give the money to people and to collect interest on that. And they have about 700 million in loans outstanding. The big question now is, how does that make money? And let me give you an analogy. We need 3 people for this. Your best friend Jack, you, and some random guy. I call him Randy. And let's say Jack is a very lucky guy, he owns a car. And now you need that car for a week, and you ask Jack, hey, can I borrow your car for a week? And he says, of course you can. So you get the car for a week, but you actually only need it on Monday. So you use the car on the Monday, and then you think to yourself, well, for the rest of the week, I could just rent out the car to some random guy. And you find Randy in a random Facebook group, and you tell him, well, I'll rent you the car for 6 days and you give me $600 for that. And he says, okay. So you drive the car to Randy, and at the end of the week, well, he gives you back the car, and he also gives you your $600. And you take the car and you give it back to Jack. And you've just made $600 by using Jack's car. And that is pretty much how banking works. Let me show that to you. Banking is built on one key idea. Your depositors, they don't need the money all at once. UBS has probably a couple of million depositors and they don't withdraw their money all at once. In fact, they only withdraw a very small amount of their deposits in every month. Guess how much it is? It's 3%. So they only need to keep 3% of their deposits lying around as cash, which is about 50 million. And they can use the rest of the money to invest. And typically on their loans, banks get at least 4% interest, but they do not pay out 4% to you. How much interest do you get on your deposits? Maybe 1%? And you see the difference between that 1% and that 4%, the 3%, that's the profit that the bank keeps. It's that simple. The bank takes your money, invests it, and keeps the difference between the interest rates. But there's one big thing that can go wrong. Let's go back to our 3 people. Let's say it's Thursday, and Jack comes to you and says, hey, I need my car back, can you give it to me? And you're just like, well, Randy has your car. He could be anywhere right now. He could be in the jungle. I'm so sorry, I have no idea where your car is. In other words, you're screwed and Jack will be very mad at you. And believe it or not, that is what brings down banks. I told you they just keep 3% of their deposits around. And let's just say there's a rumor spreading that the bank has invested in bad assets. And now what happens is everybody runs to the bank because they know if I'm among the first 3%, well, I'll get my money back because that's the money that the bank has lying around. But if I'm too late, well, then you come up to the bank, you want to withdraw your money, and they need to tell you, well, your money, it's not here, it's invested. There's this great investing opportunity, and I can't give it to you. The bank does not have your money, and that mechanism and that event actually happens a lot of times. It's a bank run. You've probably seen it in the news. And the bank run can really bring down any banks. So there are a lot of safety measures to prevent bank runs from happening. One of that is, in the European Union, deposits until 100,000 euros are insured by the government. The government tells you, well, you don't need to worry. Even if your bankers are idiots, we're going to repay your deposits, so you don't need to run to the bank. Another safety measure to prevent bank runs is psychological. Why? Because bank runs most of the time are fully psychological. It's just a rumor starting to spread. That bank has invested in bad assets. Better withdraw your money. The rumors start spreading and people start running. Thus, a very important prevention measure is calming down people. Here you see Joe Biden during the Silicon Valley Bank crisis trying to give his best shot at exactly that.
Because of the actions that our regulators have already taken, every American should feel confident that their deposits will be there if and when they need them. Look, the bottom line is this. Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe.
Now you might ask yourself, why the hassle? If banks have this large risk of just going down anytime, why do we have them and why do we keep protecting them? I mean, normal companies, they're not protected by the government. If Apple goes bankrupt, they go bankrupt. The government will not do anything. But for banks, they insure the deposits. So why? And the answer is that banks are extremely important for our economy. They make everybody into an investor. You might not have realized it, but by opening a bank account, your money will be invested. You become an investor, at least indirectly. And almost all the things you see in our world, streets, trains, factories, they are at least partly financed by banking money or by depositors' money. A bank ensures that there's money around for projects to be financed, and that's why we keep them around. Going back to our perfectly healthy bank, UBS, I want to show you their actual numbers. This is their actual income statement from 2022, where they report their profits. And the profit that is gained from investing the deposits is called net interest income. It is this position, and you see it's $6.6 billion. The second large income stream they have is here, fee and commission income. It's even more, it's almost $19 billion. And fee and commission income, that's basically the investment banking division. I've already told you what an investment bank does earlier in the course. They are the ones advising companies who want to issue bonds or stocks. And when they do that, well, the investment bank collects fees. And that is a large part that makes up this position, the 19 billion. And if you add up all the revenues and you subtract all the costs, you end at their final profit. It's $7.6 billion. I've worked in the banking industry for 1.5 years. I actually love banks. I could tell you a lot more about them. If you want to know something, please ask me. But I think you got the main point I wanted to do in this video. Banks are the important financial intermediaries. They are the reason that most money we have is not lying around somewhere, but is actually invested. And they are also the reason that most people in financial markets are professionals. Because it's not the people like you and me who really invest. It's the people like you and me who put their money into a bank, and then it's the banker who invests. And that's why we have them around. They make most investments possible, and almost everybody into an investor. Some of them without even knowing it.